ChatGPT.com. Now, from the Signature Bank Studios. If you're looking for the latest news, insight into what it means, and the sharpest opinion, there's only one station in Chicago where you can turn, and it's this one. We're AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer, Chicago's Morning Answer. Chris Crock filling in for Dan Proft. He's back Friday. I get to be with you one more day tomorrow. Well, wanted to also talk to this gentleman, Jay Edelson, founder and CEO of Edelson PC, recognized by Forbes as one of America's top 200 lawyers, by Fortune as one of the most creative people in business, and great that he's this gem of a man is in Chicago practicing law. Jay, thanks for joining us on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Thanks very much. I've never been called a gem of man, so I'll take that.
There you go, counselor. All right, so this is crazy. This article that you wrote in The Hill, ChatGPT users' privacy threatened by mass surveillance. So the New York Times apparently, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but they want to make sure that their work is not being, quote-unquote, stolen and used for ChatGPT. And in the process of that, in this lawsuit, a federal judge has said that every single conversation or question or back and forth that we have done with ChatGPT has been ordered to not be deleted, has been ordered to be preserved so that the New York Times can look through all this stuff. Things including where, God forbid, somebody is suicidal and looks up help or what they can do for this, or has an addiction or something like that, private issues, or they're struggling with a possible divorce, can now be used, pulled up, and therefore this is obviously dangerous and scary. And they're even saying people who delete stuff have something to hide, and therefore it should be open to for them to look at. Am I wrong on this? And tell me, this is alarming. Obviously, talk to me about this.
Yeah, I mean, you understand it better than I do. The New York Times, first, just to understand the suit, they've got a legitimate suit. They're claiming that the way OpenAI, that's the company behind ChatGPT, the way that they built their system was by stealing the intellectual property of basically everyone. And I think they're probably right about that. So they've got a legitimate suit. But then what they did is, as you understand, is they asked the court to do something pretty remarkable, which is to freeze all of the chats that everybody in the country, 70 million people use ChatGPT, 40 million use it day by day, to preserve it so they can use it as evidence. Has nothing to do with the case, or very little. And this includes temporary chats or deleted chats. So people are going on right now. We've talked to people who had exactly the circumstances that you've said. A young boy committed suicide after talking to ChatGPT. We've seen the chat logs there. Deeply personal, has nothing to do with the New York Times lawsuit. And yet, over the next couple of weeks, we're going to have a bunch of, kind of snot-nosed 25-year-old lawyers who are going to be combing through these chat logs. It is the legal term for this is insane.
It certainly sounds.
I don't mean to get too technical. I'm sorry.
You got pretty darn technical right there. It's hard for me to follow, but nonetheless, I will try, counselor. Hey, isn't this content that the New York Times is suing over, regardless of privacy? Isn't that what ChatGPT and all AI uses? They get information that's on the internet. So it's not just the New York Times. It's got to be hundreds or thousands or more, obviously, of publications, work, blogs. Can't every place out there sue and therefore stop ChatGPT and all the other AI stuff from having information to be AI?
Yeah, it's everyone can sue. Even if you do a Google search now, the first hit is going to be an AI summary. So it is a big problem. The way AI is set up is it basically just stole everyone's intellectual property. I think the suits are good, but you can't have a situation where now anyone in the country can bring suit against all the tech companies and then get access to everyone's confidential information. It's the way people use AI these days. It's like a virtual diary. and you can basically see what's going on in someone's head. Someone complaining about their boss, how much they hate work, asking for marital advice, health issues. It's very, very private stuff. And that was the deal when you used ChatGPT. They said this is going to be private. At any point, you can delete it. And the judge said, "Yeah, I don't care."
So here's the other thing I wanted to ask you about. I mean, is this going to go to a higher court to try to stop this? At least our personal information. I mean, in our questions, our conversations with AI. So
one of the issues is that the judge isn't letting average people come in and speak about this. So an individual said, "I want to intervene and I want to speak on behalf of consumers, people whose privacy is being destroyed." Because Sam Altman and OpenAI, they don't care about our privacy.
Right.
They care about their business.
Right.
And the judge amazingly said, "Oh, you're too late. You should have been tracking the case and come in months ago." So I think consumers have a better chance of getting it overturned. ChatGPT or OpenAI can try to appeal it. It's a little tricky, but I think they should. And I can't believe that this decision's going to hold up. Well, this litigation could take 5-10 years. And we're talking about billions and billions of chat logs that are being preserved, on a monthly basis.
So then, is there anything we can do, Jay Edelson, attorney at law? Is there anything we can do? I mean, do we just stop communicating with AI so that we can't be tracked? And I mean, this is endless about how concerning it could be for all sorts of things we do online.
Well, no, I don't think that's the solution. Then you just can't be part of the modern world. I think that Congress has to intervene. And just 2 quick points as context. First, it's the New York Times who's doing this, which I think makes it really despicable. They won a Pulitzer for uncovering mass surveillance before. The other thing, which I don't know if I mentioned in the op-ed, because you only have a certain number of words you're allowed to use, but this does not apply. This ruling does not apply to big businesses. So if you're an enterprise user or someone who pays a ton of money, they're allowed to delete all of their chats. It's just average consumers, the people that don't have a voice, who aren't
the ones
aren't
who matter, who can't fight back on this. That's
correct.
Crazy and it's
and the
wild.
ones who have really the personal stuff. So Congress should intervene. Intervene in the sense of holding hearings and hold the New York Times accountable. And honestly, shame on the New York Times. They should just figure it out on their own and realize kind of how they want to interact in the world.
Jay Edelson, attorney at law, founder and CEO of Edelson PC, recognized by Forbes as one of America's top 200 lawyers and by Fortune as one of the most creative people in the business. Thank you for coming on today on Chicago's Morning Answer. Appreciate it, sir.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I wouldn't mind having him and my family to consult for legal problems. His website is chock full of all the massive awards they've won in apparently would appear to be righteous pursuits. All right, I wanted to hit this too. Fury, this is the Daily Mail today. Fury as Walmart shopper discovers another ridiculous product locked behind glass. What